Today I woke up extremely happy and extremely sad. Now I know that is a duality of man concept right there, but hey look, I'm Righteous Raxx and I have issues. Now the reason why I woke up extremely happy is because this actman and Quantum TV situation has been getting a shitload of coverage the last couple of days, especially from YouTubers both small and big. It's also starting to get some news coverage, some journalism coverage that I really appreciate, that there are some big companies that are looking into this situation as it poses a huge problem for YouTube as a whole. Now, I woke up extremely sad too because there's been an update. And I know, usually when there's an update, people get pretty happy. However, this update is not good. It's actually really bad. So since my last video, which was about 3 days ago, there's been an update on the actman. The actman himself has gotten his channel completely demonetized. He can no longer make money and he is removed from the YouTube partnership program. The reason why he got removed from the YouTube partnership program, along with his channel getting demonetized, is strictly because YouTube thought that his satirical tweets were legitimate threats. Now, if anybody came across the actman's tweets, specifically the ones where he's talking about threatening and doxing the lives and the families of YouTube employees and talking about making his channel into a hate speech channel, anybody with a 4th grade reading level could understand that those were just completely satire. Now, I saw those tweets when they first originally came out and I laughed my ass off. I thought it was so funny because he's just calling out YouTube in those tweets as the duality of their decision making and enforcement of their YouTube community guidelines. Now, when it comes to YouTube's community guidelines, there's very little transparency. You know, it's pretty bold. It says what you can and cannot do. Now, the problem is that there's no transparency on YouTube's side where their communication just sucks ass. And the only way for you to actually get anywhere with having something change on your YouTube channel is by making a giant shitstorm on YouTube. And that in itself is just completely wrong. No big company would have you go off of their media platform, their social media platform, to go onto another social media platform to make a shitstorm about what you need to happen, the change that needs to come through on YouTube's end. Now, I'm not a huge YouTuber by any means. I have a little over 260 subscribers now. Thank you guys for that, by the way. But I can understand where YouTube is really screwing up on their community guidelines enforcement. They completely demonetize the actman, but leave Quantum TV's hate speech and external links that prove that he is enforcing hate speech or, you know, promoting it. And yeah, they just let him completely monetized. All of his videos are completely monetized. He's fundraising now. It's actually fucking wild. I have never seen YouTube act so poorly in their decision making, their enforcement of their community guidelines. And honestly, I think YouTube is in violation of itself. It is literally shooting itself in the foot. Now, Charlie and Ludwig have both made incredible videos, and I would highly recommend that you guys go check them out after this video. If you guys really wanted to know more about the actman Quantum TV situation, you guys can do a whole bunch of research. You guys can watch my previous video, and you guys can do a whole bunch of like external research. There is so much about it. I said it in my last video that if I were to actually make a full video covering every single little thing that Quantum TV has done, and it would be like 2 hours, and I'm not doing an actman dark age of YouTube style video. It's just I cannot be asked. I really cannot. But what I can be asked to do is put my opinion out there to hopefully reach people who haven't heard of this topic yet. Now, there's been a tag that has been going around, hashtag justice for the actman. Now, please use this tag. Do not let this die out. This needs to continue. We need the change to happen from YouTube. If YouTube refuses to change, then YouTube is shooting itself in the foot. It is betraying everything that it apparently stands for. You guys, YouTube, I'm looking at you specifically. YouTube, you guys literally just tweeted on like the 1st of June about Pride Month, yet you guys are perfectly fine with a channel that promotes hate speech towards the LGBT plus community. You let him be completely fully monetized, but yet you demonetize the man who calls out that awful behavior. It's absolute ignorance on YouTube's part, and I think it's just a poor enforcement of their community guidelines, and honestly, I really would like to see more change. Now, one other change that these big YouTubers, Charlie and Ludwig, have talked about is that YouTube itself really needs better communication with their creators. YouTube partnership managers, because every partner on YouTube has a partnership manager, every YouTube partnership manager should have a lot more power than they currently do. They should be able to reverse decisions made by YouTube, because a lot of times the YouTube bot or whatever that flags videos will falsely flag something that it completely is in fair use. And a lot of problems like this one could be avoided. It is not fun every week seeing a new trending YouTuber calling out YouTube for being a dog shit platform. Just not that their platform is bad per se, but their enforcement of their guidelines and their communication and their transparency on these topics is just awful, and something really needs to change. So if you guys agree with me, please leave me a comment down below, a like on the video, interact with this video, share it with a couple of the friends. The more exposure that this type of video gets, the more exposure that all these videos start to get, the quicker that YouTube has to act on this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys want to see my newest uploads, please click on these little boxes right here and right here. I put a lot of work into this one. You guys really should check this one out. This one's the most important to me. This one's a really good commentary though. I got really heated, and I really think you guys should check it out, especially if you are not fond of gambling streamers.